We are joined now by one of our favorite NBA guests. He always brings the noise. He's
and he brings the chicken wings with him too.
Yes, he's lost some bets. He's a former NBA champion and a New Orleans Pelicans color analyst. Also, Sirius XM NBA radio host. None other than our man Antonio Daniels. Brother, what is happening?
What's happening?
So that we ain't talking. I don't know how long, Rob. That's how you gonna do me?
No, I'm not.
Wing?
No, because you know what? Our first bet, you paid off big time. You paid off with a bigger amount of wings than we originally bet. You cool with me, so we good.
Yeah, to whom much is given, much is required.
You know that.
When you're blessed, you bless others.
That's right. That's right. Well, let's start in the league, and then we'll get to the Pelicans. What do you think about the format for coming back? You know, the 8 regular season games, the play-in. Do you like this? Do you think they should have done it another way?
I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I think the NBA got it right, and that's really difficult to do. And when I say they got it right, what I mean by that is there's a couple things that you want to see them do. One, if there was a team that was still in contention, you want to see them continuing to play. Because remember, this league got cut short, almost 20% short. But you also give them incentive. The teams that are mathematically eliminated, they have no reason to come back and play. I get that. I grasp the concept. You also want to come to a place where you're comfortable as far as a quarantine bubble, where you can put family, friends, and players, coaches, and be assured that they're healthy. You know, so in this instance, I think this was a very, very hard thing to do. And if you go back 2 or 3 months, I didn't think that this could happen. I thought it was very, very difficult to do. It's a lot of hoops to jump through, but now they have the testing available to test guys. And then when the season starts, to test guys almost daily. I think Adam Silver, the brain trust of the NBA, got this spot on.
Is this, some people have pushed back and said this is just the NBA trying to get Zion and the Pelicans in the playoffs because they want the Pelicans. This was done for the Pelicans. Where are you on that?
So? I mean, that's what the NBA is.
So you agree that – I'm just saying.
No.
So you
what
agree
I'm
with
saying
it
is, listen, out of all professional sports, baseball, basketball, football, and hockey, there is no more professional league that is as star-driven as the NBA is. The NBA is all about stars. It's all about eyes and who you want to see on that floor. Man, you know what? If you look at the luck of the Pelicans, so all last year, everybody was talking about Anthony Davis leaving. Oh, he's going to go to L.A. because of this and because of that. So now the one time that the light shines on the Pelicans and they get an opportunity to play for a playoff berth, they get an opportunity to play for incentive, now it's not fair?
No,
come on, man. I'm not rocking with that.
It's 3.5 games with 8 to play. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's going to be tough anyway.
I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, Antonio, I'm not trying to say if you told me they were a game out with 8 to play or something, made 3.5 games with 8 to play.
But
all
also,
I'm saying
Rob, what's important is the way the schedule falls. So if you're 3.5 games out, you still have to play Memphis twice. That's an opportunity for a game advantage. So if you beat Memphis twice, now you're only a game and a half out. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're playing 8 games, 8 insignificant games. You're playing 8 games that get an opportunity to get you the 9th.
All right, here's my question. Will the Pelicans make the playoffs?
Right.
I do think they will.
Really?
I'm going to be completely honest.
They got to
just
jump
like
Portland?
I said
right,
in March.
I
said this in March.
Okay, go ahead. Because they were playing
I said this in
give
March.
you that, but go ahead.
Yeah, I said this in March, back when the Pelicans were playing really, really good basketball. I thought that they were going to make the playoffs then. And the thing we have to understand is how this whole thing has played itself out. There are certain teams that have benefited from this, honestly.
You think
if
the
you look at
Pelicans are one?
Because in a roundabout sort of way.
Is that a benefit or could that be a negative? They're so
because
young.
What I'm saying is if you play 64 games or 66 games, you have 16 remaining games, and in those 16 remaining games, you have the easiest remaining schedule in the league. So a lot of the teams that the Pelicans still have yet to play aren't even invited to Orlando. You know what I mean? I'm talking about New York. I'm talking about they still had to play Atlanta twice. They had to play the Knicks at home. They still had to play Charlotte at home. So some of these games, and on the flip side, Memphis, who has played very well and deserves to be right where they are, they had the toughest remaining schedule.
Right. Okay.
So you have to take that into consideration.
Let me ask you this. Lonzo, over the last 5 games, he was great. 21, 8, and 8. Did something click? Was that real? Not that he's going to average those numbers, but is that real? Or was that just kind of a nice little run and you expect him to kind of go back to that 11.6 assists a night guy?
No, for me, it was about his comfort level. It was about him getting his legs under him, finally feeling good, playing his best basketball as a pro, because this is the most confidence that he has had as a pro. Like, this is a perfect case and scenario for Lonzo. Let's put you on a team where you're surrounded by guys whose skill set complements yours. This is a perfect storm for Lonzo Ball. Alvin Gentry wants to play fast. He wants to play fast. Lonzo Ball wants to play fast. Zion Williamson wants to play fast. Brandon Ingram wants to play fast. The New Orleans Pelicans are all about pace, getting up and down the floor. But the ball is in Lonzo's hands to make those decisions. He can't always say that where he's been prior to here. Same with Brandon Ingram.
When you look at the NBA, and especially the two teams, big teams in the West, the Lakers and the Clippers, who do you think will get the bigger advantage? The Clippers, who have their 2 big stars who were banged up, yet they've played well all year and they've got a deep bench. Those 2 guys are back and healthy. And LeBron was playing well, and the Lakers, but he has to restart year 17 after playing pretty well. Does the rest help LeBron, hurt him, or are the Clippers in better shape because they have younger guys who are now healthy?
Here's the thing. You just said a real key word, Rob. You said restart. And why that's important is because how you were playing prior to the COVID-19, honestly, to a certain degree, it's irrelevant. This wasn't a week layoff. This wasn't a 2-week layoff. So Everybody has to restart. We have no idea the chemistry, camaraderie, or rhythm that teams are going to come back with. We can't assume that when the Lakers left playing well, or the Pelicans left playing well, or Milwaukee left playing well, that they're going to pick up right where they left off. Because these are unforeseen circumstances that no one has ever had to deal with. So it's going to take a minute for teams, individually and also collectively, for them to find that chemistry again, to find that rhythm again. Because this is not a 1 or 2 week layoff. Just think, we are in June, and we have not played since March 10th, March 11th. So that's all of March, all of April, all of May, and now we're in June. So that's a long layoff, and that's a layoff that guys and teams, individually and collectively, are not accustomed to.
New Orleans Pelicans color analyst Antonio Daniels, the NBA champion, joining the Odd Couple. I want to go back to the Pelicans about something, because Adam Silver, the commissioner, came out last night and said some of the older coaches, he said they're still looking at this, they may not want them on the bench to coach the games. Now, Alvin Gentry, who is he 65, I believe, he pushed back on it. How do you feel? Because it seems there is evidence that it can affect older people. They're more vulnerable. How do you feel about this whole situation with the coaches, the older coaches?
So when I said earlier in the interview that when you go back 2 months ago, I didn't think we would be here today because of the amount of hoops that you have to jump through. That's one of the hoops. And it's tough to ask a team to go out there. If you look at a team like the Houston Rockets, who's Mike D'Antoni,
right?
And on the bench, it's not just Alvin Gentry. You have Jeff Bzdelik, who is the defensive coach. It's tough to ask these guys, look, COVID-19 is here. We all understand that. We're in the middle of a global pandemic. We're going to send your team out to play, but you can't coach. These are all the things that you have to take into consideration prior to sending the NBA back July 31st. And it comes down to how confident are the players and coaches in Adam Silver? And from what I've seen and what I've heard and my own personal feelings, I feel like guys are incredibly confident in him, and I think he's earned it. He has navigated the NBA through some treacherous waters from the moment that he's taken over from David Stern, whether it was the Sterling situation, the Kobe Bryant tragedy, the David Stern tragedy, the China situation, and now COVID-19. I think he has earned the trust that players and coaches are giving him.
What do you think he should do with the older coaches?
I think he should give them the option. He should give them the option, because the thing is, we all understand, just like you do with players. Players know what they're walking into right now. You know what the options are. That's why certain players have said, you know what, if we go back and play during this global pandemic, I'm not playing. Guys understand what's at stake, and if you understand what's at stake, it's your option. If you want to go out and play, or if you want to go out and coach, it's not right to tell a guy, we're going to send your team out to play without their head coach, without their leader, especially when some of these teams that we're talking about have an opportunity to do something special for their organization.
And I don't know, if I'm Greg Popovich, I wouldn't be that happy, because I heard that Adam Silver told them to move his office to the cemetery. So
Stop it.
Okay.
All right. Last thing for me. Hold on.
Quickly answer.
One last thing.
Okay.
I do want to say it's hard for me not to play around. Obviously, the championship is going to be won at Walt Disney World. Is this will this be a Mickey Mouse championship?
No, not for me. The thing is, you continue to hear the word asterisk. The championship will have an asterisk by it. Why? Everybody's dealing with the same circumstances. There's not one team right now that has a clear-cut competitive advantage over another team. There's no home court. So why would there be an asterisk by it? There are circumstances that happen throughout the course of every NBA season that give someone an advantage. In 1999, when we won the championship with the San Antonio Spurs, Patrick Ewing was hurt. So what are we supposed to do? Say, oh, no, wait. Patrick Ewing's not healthy. Let's wait. Let's wait till he's healthy so we can take the asterisk away. You know what I mean?
There is an asterisk on that one, though, Antonio. No,
there isn't. No, there isn't.
But the thing is,
I'm just messing with you.
I don't believe in asterisks.
So,
I don't either. I'm just joking with you.
If you look at the Clippers, if you look at Toronto this past year, and people say, oh, you know what? They wouldn't have won if Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson weren't hurt. That's not the case. Because Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson were hurt.
No, it's all up. Golden State 2015. Let me ask you this.
Everybody was hurt on that one. That helped the Warriors win.
I was joking about the Astros, but we got about 30 seconds left. Kevin Durant, do you think, if he's 100%, should he come back? Should he try this?
I don't know. For me, this is something I'm not really qualified to answer, because I don't know how he feels. All you can do is go through drills and go through drills. The last thing you want to do if you're Kevin Durant and you're coming back from an injury like that is put yourself in another situation to set yourself back for another year.
Right.
What you do is you take your time, you rehab, you get yourself back right, and you return next year with a healthy Kyrie Irving and with a healthy Kevin Durant, and now you make a legitimate run at it. You don't put yourself in harm's way 2 years in a row.
All right. That's our man, Antonio Daniels. NBA champion, Pelicans color analyst. Thanks, man. We appreciate it for sure.
For sure. I'll talk to y'all soon, fellas.
All right, brother. Peace.